Where's that picture? Mhm. 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 Come here. Mhm. I've never done a live before. This is so weird. Usually I just, you know, record my episodes and then post them. It's kind of weird just opening it up and then, you know, where are my people? I know I sound like an old man. He doesn't know anything about it. You know how long it's been? When was my last episode? Uh, Last April or May of last year. Wow, I've missed you guys. Let's share this. Hmm. Copy the link. Hmm. You can tell it's been a while. It's like I'm learning technology all over again. Boom. So I was a little delayed. I have a MacBook Pro, and I didn't know I had to install Chrome on the MacBook. Apparently, I don't know, it doesn't work with Safari. So there was the delay. Uh, so what have I been doing? I don't know if you care or not, but I've gotten some messages from folks about where you been, Mike? You coming back? And I really didn't know. I didn't know if I was coming back. I got. Well, I think I've mentioned this uh, on in the back. The previous episodes, my last ones. How I just had to know. Hey, Sharmila. I've been good. Yeah, really good. Uh, I shared this in I think one of the last episodes I did that I guess it was beginning of 2023, but I got tired of just quoting people, quoting Neville Goddard or this teacher or that teacher, and I certainly got tired of trying to sound like other teachers. Uh, and if you're in these groups, these manifesting groups, some of the more influential ones. Uh, in their groups, you'll see that their folks, the ones that follow them, posting their stuff, and it's like little parrots of that teacher. And I didn't want to be a parrot or a mimic. I had to know, you know, in many of my episodes, and they're all still valid. I mean, what I was saying was true. I had to, gee, would you stop playing with your hair? Look at this. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone. Leave it. My friend Ophir is always like, Mike, why do you always play with your hair? Uh, I had to know. I had to know beyond any doubt that uh, what I was quoting, what Neville Goddard was saying, mainly Neville, because that's who I, you know, quoted so often. I had to know it for sure, beyond any doubt. And I couldn't just get on uh, online or on my podcast and just to, pull up a lovely quote from Neville. Uh, everybody can do that. I mean, there's so many people, and I mean, you can't throw a stick without hitting a manifesting account. You know, if that's your thing, they're all over and they're great. But for me, I just had to. I had to really know. You know, no more secondhand, secondary sources. It had to be a first person, present tense experience for me, and it was it was wild. I'm not gonna lie, it was scary at first because I didn't realize how much I was to others, clinging to teachers and this book and that book, and I found myself always searching and scrolling. Have you ever done that? Probably not. Maybe it's just me. You know, you're doing this thing, you're scrolling, all you're manifesting people, you know, and seeing what they say. Um, but it's all within you. It's all within you. And then from those states, when I was in a state of feeling like I didn't know anything, like I needed more information, sure enough, I would come across a post from a manifesting teacher or get an email telling me, "You're doing it wrong. You're wrong. You got to follow the rules and do it this way." But that was just my state of, "Ugh, I feel like I'm not doing it right." Well, it was confirmed. And, you know, everything confirms your state. And so when I would scroll and I would feel so beat up by these posts, that was me doing that. So I had to let go of all of it. I had to let go of uh, Neville Goddard and everything, every book, every teacher. And it was frightening. I felt like I would stepped off a cliff like Wile E. Coyote, you know, you stepping out, da 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 da, Mr. Blue Sky, and then you look down and there's the open air, and you're like, hold the sign up. Oh crap! But it was good because it got me here. Got me here. Yeah. So Sharmila, what are you doing? You commented. You still here? I've never done a live. I don't know. You know, I'm just going to keep talking. See a few folks on here. This will be recorded and able to replay it if you so choose. Hey. So what have I discovered? What have I discovered this past year and a half? It's all fake. It's all lies. I'm kidding. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. And it's simpler than we make it. You know, we come up with all these freaking rules about manifesting, and this teacher says this and that teacher says this, and well, Mike says this, well, Mr. 2020 says this, and Mr. 2020 says, you know, get the toolbox, and Neville says this, and then the folks, Rhonda Byrne says this. It doesn't matter what they say. It's what you say. That's all that matters. Hey, Mary. Oh, this is fun. I might do more lives like this. Typical Stan. What's up, Stan? I really enjoy this. I thought about doing it on TikTok, um, but I don't really have. I have a TikTok channel, but just has a few videos, and I don't know. I just like my YouTube people. I like my folks on YouTube. Um, what was I saying? Oh, the thing is, for me, I had to let go of this religion I had created, this religion of manifesting. Uh, and I've mentioned that before. You know, I grew up in a religious home, uh, and that just kind of changed my religion. You know, when I went to sort of really, I was intense. I got into Neville Goddard. Uh, it was intense, very intense. I've, if you haven't heard this story, back in November of 2017, November 23rd, 2017, I was lying on the bed thinking about all the things I wish I could do with my family. And that inner voice said, "How are you going to do any of that in a wheelchair?" And I said, "You're right." And that voice said, I guess it's time for dystonia. That was the diagnosis I had, generalized dystonia. I guess it's time for it to go. And I said, okay. Yeah. And then, I got out of the bed and I was still sick. I had to shuffle over and scooch into my wheelchair for 6 days. Still sick, still all twisted up and not in control of my muscles. And then that night on November 29th, 2017, I stood up to grab my crutches and I walked right past him. And from that point on, because at that point I'd gotten into Neville a few weeks, maybe a month, I'd found him while lying in bed feeling sorry for myself at how, my predicament with my body. And then I thought, well, I need to, I saw Neville as the cause. Like, oh, well, it was because I found his video. Secret of the Sperm was the first one. But, because it had sperm in the name. That's why I picked it. I know it's weird, but so I had this cause and effect reversed. It was Neville. Neville's why I was able to do that. And so then I went on this intense, intense dive into everything Neville Goddard. People could message me and say, "Hey, which lecture does Neville Goddard say this?" And I could like, it's this one. I was a scholar of that. I knew a lot of stuff. I knew quotes, but I wasn't. I'd gotten into another religion I'd made for myself. Let me see what the comments are. Oh, good. Well, I won't use TikTok then because Sharmila says it's not in India. Yes, Mary, more episodes coming. I promise. I'm getting back into it. I can feel it, but it's going to be different. Uh, no more quoting people. No more relying on anything outside of my own experience. So my stories. Oh, fear's on here. Have no fear. Oh, fear is here. It'll be more me, more absolutely me talking and my experiences and sharing the stories from others. Um, if you want, one that's, meet someone to just read a bunch of sweet, lovely Neville Goddard quotes, and that's fine. I like them too. Then that'll be somebody else because I had to get away from all of that. Not that he's wrong. It's just I had to be me. What's the point of sharing if you're just a carbon copy of the teacher you knew or you read or studied or a conglomeration of all of them? You notice it, right? You see that? You see people's posts and they're just posting somebody else's quote, which is fine. But if their content is all just that, at least for me, I needed to be completely genuine. And I told myself if I ever got back on the microphone to do this, I would have to, there would be no doubt. And what I'm saying is my own experience and sharing those of others, but not, uh, well, no more of this. Well, Neville says this, or well, this person says that. There's no point in me doing this if I'm going to do that. You can get that anywhere. Do it yourself. I just, uh, my love to share is what why I'm doing this. So I don't know if I'll even, I don't know. Anyway, Sharmila says, Michael X, been listening to Neville lectures all day. Potter's House might be my fave after. Oh, yeah. Potter's House is great. Now, listen, I love Neville Goddard. And he's a beautiful speaker, and his lectures have so much power in them. So I'm not knocking that at all. For me, I had made that, had put him on a pedestal a little higher than me, and if I was feeling down, like, oh, let me listen to a Neville Goddard lecture. Yeah, fine, but I had stopped turning to myself, to my own beautiful imagination, to quote Neville Goddard. Yeah, thank you, Sharmila. Sharmila, am I pronouncing that right? She says, keep it simple. She didn't call me stupid, though. Keep it simple, stupid. Hey, David Breslow. Oh, this is so much fun. Oh, the great order. I love your music. Yeah. Well, welcome to the channel. You guys have any questions? If not, I'm going to tell you this really cool story that happened. Uh, Thank you, Sharmila. Let me just tell you before I get to your questions, if you have any. By the way, this is London Dry Gin and uh, Topo Chico Tangerine and Ginger mineral water. It's so good. Okay, so back in, let me go back years ago. My fourth son, I have 5 kids. My fourth son, my youngest son, became, am I hitting my mic? All right. My fourth son was homeschooled. Everybody else went to public school. I homeschooled him his years of high school. Well, he graduated, we finished, and he got on with life. He didn't want to, he had no real aspirations at the time to go to college, wasn't sure what he wanted to do. And I told him, like I tell all my kids, that, well, don't get caught up in that whole idea that college is necessary. That unless it's something you want to do, but you can have the life you want now. You don't need to wait for a 4 or 6 or 8 year degree to have the life you want. So I let him be him, like I try to be with all my kids. And he started, working this job and that job. But when he wasn't working at the job he thought he had to have, he was playing video games online. Valorant is the name of the video game. Those first person shooter games that I cannot play. It involves way too many keys on the keyboard. And I'm only good if it's got a joystick and one button, doop, 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 like my old Atari or Commodore. So for several years, that's what he's doing. He wants to be a streamer, and he starts streaming his video games and saying he's gonna make it big. This is leading to something, and I encouraged him. I said, "Go for it." Uh, yeah, but sure, that part of me, that rational reasoning mind inside of me, uh, was saying, it's video games. How's he gonna do this with video games? So I encouraged him, and he kept streaming. Well, fast forward to this past fall, late November, early December, he said, "Hey, there's a recruiter for a college reaching out to me about being on the university's Valorant video game team." And I thought, this sounds like trafficking or catfish. this I didn't know they actually did that. A few weeks pass. Now Christmas comes and goes, and we're leading into New Year's, and he mentions it again. And I said, okay, yeah. And I'm thinking he meant for the fall, this coming fall of 2025 for college. And I thought, okay, sure, let's look into that. Well, New Year's comes, and the day after New Year's, January 2nd, he mentions, Dad, they really want me, and they want me there for January 13th, uh, the first day of school. And I said, this January 13th, like in a week? He said, yeah. And I told him, if you get everything in order, and this is a legit thing, and you actually, they're offering him a scholarship, they give you a scholarship, I will get you to Sioux City, Iowa. That's the other thing. It's 1,091 miles away from our home. And in those couple of weeks prior to New Year's, like I said, he was homeschooled, so he didn't have an SAT or an ACT. We never did that. And they told him, no problem, just take your GED. They just needed test scores, which I thought was amazing. Didn't know that was a thing. So he takes that, fails, passes everything except math. And the first time he failed it was because of me. Now he told me, don't come in the bedroom. I'm taking my test online. So what do? For some reason, I think if there's something I need to go in there for, and I go into his room, and he whispers, I'm taking a test, and that he failed. He failed the test because of that. So I told him, you're going to pass it the next time. So we got him signed up for the next math test. He failed it. He missed it by a point or two. And we were driving to the store that night, and I said, Connor, I'm telling you, you've got this. You're going to pass it, and we're going to get you to Sioux City, Iowa. Well, he passed, and he got all this other documentation, his everything he needed to them. And then on Friday, that would have been 13th, 12th, 11th, January 10th, I came home, So in the afternoon, I was making a gin and soda, and he plops himself down on the couch. He said, "So, you and mom ready to take me to Sioux City this weekend?" And I set the drink down. And there was that part of me, like, crap, we got to drive to Sioux City now. Uh, but there's that other part of me that was just so excited, that knows better, that knows the power of the imagination and the power of making a decision and sticking to it. That next morning, we started packing up. By Sunday, it was an 18-hour drive. Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're pulling into Briarcliff University, this beautiful Catholic private school on a hill in Sioux City, Iowa. And he's there now. Let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, I agree. Great order. Yeah. So that is a great example of effortless uh, manifesting. Now, effortless, Mike, he had to take a GED and he had to get stuff in order. But what effort was that? He got signed up online and took the test and he passed it and he got in. And he had a full scholarship. Did I mention that? It was a full ride he has for 4 years. And he's not majoring in video games. He's majoring in art. It's a double major in psychology and art. And he loves to draw and paint. And I think one thing he's thinking of is using art in counseling, in therapy, or whatever he wants to do. I'm behind him all the way. But I love that I know there were people, and even I thought it sometimes, like, come on now, video games? Sure, that guy's making, he says, $1 million a month playing video games. But now this isn't him having a career in video games, but it got him uh, a full ride to a private university because he plays video games. So follow that passion of yours. So whatever that is you want to do, screw tradition, screw what society says or the economy says or what the news says. Don't even look at the news. It's like watching a badly written sitcom now. It doesn't matter what they say. Doesn't matter at all. Army's in. Welcome. So how have you guys been? Huh? I've missed you. So let me ask you this. Is that Jerry? Jerry, my friend Jerry. Hey, would you rather me do more YouTube stuff and videos and strictly there, or do you like having the option to pull it up, the audio on the podcast apps like Apple Podcasts or, well, whatever one you use? I'm there, but I'm having thoughts of just sticking to just YouTube and doing it on here, and then doing some, social media stuff, linking it to it, but getting rid of all the other stuff and just sticking to my YouTube channel. Both are good for you. Ophir says both. Yeah. Imaginarium. You guys need to check out my friend Jerry. What's is Imaginarium is your hashtag, that's your handle for all your socials, right, Jerry? Yeah, thank you, David. I like YouTube. I'm gonna keep doing them on both for now, but I didn't think I would like doing live. I watch lives, but it's a whole new experience and it's right on top of it. You know why I did this today? Because was promised an episode. And then this morning I'm thinking about it like, oh, I don't feel like recording it and then clipping it, editing it. I didn't really edit it, my podcast, except add music to it. But I just wasn't feeling like doing any of that today. So I just thought, let me just do live. That would be the quickest and easiest. It is like theater. Oh, so thank you, Dave. That was a great segue. So I think I've mentioned this before. I love theater. I was a theater major to begin with in college, and then I listened to my family, and they're like, "You should do something more reliable. Have a degree that's more reliable." Like my dad told me when I told him back then. He said, "Mike, you can be a doctor, a lawyer, a ditch digger, or even an actor." So I ended up being getting an education degree because everybody said, "Hey, that's something to fall back on." And if you have a fallback plan, you will fall back on it. So anyway, I've been wanting to get back. I've been missing theater so badly lately. So about a year ago, I started thinking about it. Like I want to do something back with theater, and I want to do also do something back on the microphone, something with radio. And within a month, I got a call from the board of Lake Charles Little Theater to asking me to be on the board with them, be on the board, and then also to direct two radio dramas. So combining my two loves, theater and radio, and I was able to direct War of the Worlds radio drama last Halloween and It's a Wonderful Life on the radio. Beautiful, love that Christmas story uh, that was broadcast on the radio. This year, doing the same thing. We're going to have its War of the Worlds for Halloween, and you can listen to it too. I shared on my socials the link. You can listen online. It's fun to direct that, to take folks, uh, take these actors, and help them find that character. Not tell them how to act, but help them find their reason for being in that scene. You know, it's. I used to like. I used to have to be on stage. I had to be the one on the microphone. I had to be the one doing the performance. But I really love directing. I love being the director. So this coming season with Lake Charles Little Theater, I'll actually be directing a stage play, the two radio plays, and then a stage play next spring. So I'm excited about that. Sous le Soleil. Am I pronouncing that right? Welcome to the live. I feel like I'm having a reunion, having you guys uh, here with me. I wish you could talk back. I wish you could, you know, maybe we'll do a Zoom call or something. It'd be more fun to see your faces. So, any manifesting questions? Well, I'm just going to keep talking about everything going on with me. The weather's great here, by the way. It was so unusually hot the past couple of weeks. And if you know me, you know I'm not a fan of the heat. I know Jerry's down in Hawaii. My family loves the beach and the heat. I'm not a I'm not a hot weather guy. I mean, I can survive it, but I'm a fan of the cool weather. You know, highs of 70 max, lows in the 30s. Uh, that's that's perfect for me. I love that. And it got way too hot, way too fast down here the past couple of weeks. And Kim and I were talking about it a week and a half ago. And I said, we're gonna have another cool front. I'm not accepting this. We need some more cool weather coming in. And we had well, if you're in the United States, that huge storm that passed through, and it's nice down here in the South, enjoying some. I think the highs are around 50 right now, and it feels so good. I got the windows open, I got my sweater back on, don't have to run the air conditioner. Sous le soleil, meaning under the sun in French. Oh, hey. Oh, wow. Yeah, Sharmila doesn't like the heat either. Val Brignac Kilmer. Well, that's cool. I miss Val Kilmer. He was a great actor, really great actor. Okay, so back to what's been going on with me. Oh, it was, how Neville talks about how it's a shock when you find out who God is, where God is. And I thought I knew that. I thought I understood that. I said that on my podcast. Like, yeah, it's a shock. You find out you're the cause of the phenomena of your life. But it wasn't until and this was something just pushing inside of me, I'd gotten to where even trying to listen, I would put on a Neville Goddard lecture and I would just have this visceral reaction to it. It just, this pressure. It, I can't explain it. I just had to turn it off, and all of it. I had to stop following. I just stopped looking at social media because over those years I had built up so many. All of my feed were manifesting people, all this stuff, and I just like, it was like everything had turned rancid to me, and I can't explain it, but I had to follow that feeling. It was just this something inside me just reacting to that, and so I did. I shut it all off, turn it all off, got rid of, or just stopped following all of them, or stop looking at them. I'm live, babe. My daughter just walked in. I don't know where the dogs are. This is fun, live. I can't edit this out. So I just let it all go. And that's when the shock came. And there was a lecture Neville talked about that you get to a point where it's the loneliest feeling in the world. Man, yeah. Because you go, at least for me, it went from, me and God, and then me and my imagination, and I would, in my episodes, my podcast, I would say, trust your awareness of being because it knows what you want. And even then I was talking as if that's something separate, some other thing, some other being thinking for me, making decisions for me, whether you call it the universe or imagination. But for me, I still had this division where, oh, I trust, I even said this in my podcast, I trust my imagination implicitly, as if it's making decisions for me, and I had to just thank you, Vera. You're looking good too. I had to let all of that go. And it was like I was just ripping the flesh off my body, just stripping away all these things I held on to. And I couldn't just keep saying, well, Neville says this. And there was I don't remember his name. He has a cool YouTube channel where he talks about Neville and his experiences and imagining all sorts of wild things. And there was one he said, you just have to trust. We just have to have faith that what Neville says is true. And I just exploded, not on him. I just like, no, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep relying on this teacher or that teacher. I cannot keep doing this. I can no longer say, well, they said it's true. They said I need to do this. And I've mentioned this. Ophir, you know this. Since I was a child, I've been told you're a contrary person, Mike. And that's just in my nature, I guess, that I started pushing back. Like, it can't just be because he says it or they say it. How do I know that's true? It can't be secondary sources or tertiary sources. I have to know it. And that went on for a while. No, I trust imagination. What's imagination? That's me. It's me. Who are you talking to? No one. There were times during all this, I felt like I was going crazy. And that was just all part of it for me. It wasn't necessarily fun. Not at all. I told somebody this recently that Redneck Buddha, yeah, good for you. Yeah, I know you're contrary, Dave. But I told a friend the other day or a while back, there were times where I'd catch myself saying things were easier when I believed in a God outside of me. Things were easier in church, because just that safety net of, oh, well, God's got it. My imagination's got it. It was just this reliance. I don't mean that, but there were those times where just this stripping away that was going in me, just it felt like it was physical, like I was getting peeled and flayed during all of this. And that's on me. Nobody's doing that to me. That was me because I was just holding on to all this stuff and I knew I had to let it go and it wasn't comfortable. And then I'm at the point now where you don't have to you don't have to go off and do sessions and start planning like, okay, I want this. Well, let me start a program. Let me start imagining this every morning. Let me imagine it again at lunch and then in the evenings. And I'm going to keep doing this every day. And I say, why are you making a plan? Why are you saying you're not going to have it now? We do that. And I did it. Well, I got to start. And if you read Neville's books and or other people, and they talk about, once, you got to keep doing it until the state is stable. How many of you felt like me where you had a day where you just, your mind was just going crazy and it's like doubts, stop doubting. I'm doubting. Oh my God, that's a doubt. Ah, now I've got to start all over, right? I've got to start all over, replant the seed, till the soil, fertilize the soil with my imagination. And then 5 years later, I'm still tilling the soil. When's it going to come out? I had to let go of all of that because I would beat myself up. Like, oh, why am I had a doubt today. And then I would hear this teacher or this teacher say, well, your doubts, and I've said this, if you're doubting, it tells you what state you're in. And then I would beat myself up. Oh my God, I'm in a state of shit. I'm in a shit state, eating shit sandwiches all day, because I was unforgiving. I wasn't forgiving myself and I was beating myself up. Like, why is that thought there? Why is that thought there? And I had to stop. Mike, who says that's wrong to have that thought? Nobody except me. Or I'm taking, distorting what I heard from this teacher or that teacher. Like, oh, I shouldn't have thoughts, shouldn't have bad thoughts. And then other teachers say, you shouldn't be thinking at all. So I had to strip it all away. I miss you too, Dave. I had to strip it all away and uh, just be real with myself. What do I want? Not in this, maybe this isn't something you went through, but I did. Like, I realized a lot of what I thought were my desires were what I thought my desires should be. Well, this is what I should be wanting. I should be doing this. And then I had studied Neville so much, I thought, well, I need to be like him. I need to have a life like that and be like that. And Neville isn't here. I'm here. And I'm not doing anything in your life except echoing you. You're here. You're the only one in your life. And you get to decide what you want and what to experience. Redneck Buddha spent a couple of short stays in different countries or counties, trying to figure out this stuff. I'm betting countries. Tommy D, what's up? So this has been, you think you've got it. You got it. I was like, I got this. I can teach Neville easy. Yeah, when you have somebody gives you the curriculum and then you're just repeating that, sure, that's easy. But I couldn't do that anymore. I couldn't just go off of what he said. And sure, the promise, I've experienced that. I've experienced so many. I don't know how many books or how many journals full of uh, what people call mystical experiences. But I stopped trying to make that happen. We think, oh, Neville talks about all this. I need to be having mystical experiences, right? They're having it. I need to have these experiences. But I'm telling you, listen, this is where the magic is. It's right now. I used to try to check out from life every day. Well, I'll be in the silence, my dear. Babe, I'll be upstairs in the silence. I really said that. I'll be in the silence for a while. But this is it. This is your mystical experience. You're dreaming. This is your dream. This is your dream. So if you're one of those that likes to have, that wants those, craves those mystical experiences, have them. Tell yourself as you're going to sleep, show me something tonight. That's what I do. I'll say as I'm falling asleep, show me something new. I want to see something I haven't seen yet, something that'll blow my mind. I had one the other night. Oh, I was in this life and then I was out of it, zooming out of it, in this whole universe, this whole world became just this little, like a snow globe, just a little dome. And I could see everything. I could see the whole world in it. This whole story, the buildings, and it just got smaller and smaller. And as I zoomed back out, farther and farther out, there was another one and another one. They're all attached like little bubbles, and each one had this little story in it, a little world in it, and out and out and out, and just there were so many. It was like the little rounded bits of an insect's eyes, a fly's eyes. You know what I'm talking about? All these facets, and each one with its own little world, and I was expanding beyond it, and it was just there in the whole. Every story possible was right here in my hands. So just trust yourself. It's you. It's you. Your imagination. It's you. We want to keep, well, let me trust my higher self. There's the little me and there's the big me. Well, I'm 5'6". I'm me. But don't sell yourself short. That comes, I think, from, at least for me, this religious background growing up. Don't you get prideful. Don't you dare be cocky. And I'm not a fan of cocky or like that kind of stuff, but we think we shouldn't be. We sell ourselves short saying, well, the little me wants this, but the big me wanted this, or, the little me gets angry but the big, and I told somebody, I was like, stop saying you're little and referring to the big you, and I did it. This is all me. I've done this stuff. Like, well, the inner man had this to say, or, the outer man and the inner man. It's all you. There's no other. There's not a bigger and smaller. There's not an inner and outer. It's all you dreaming this dream. Neville talks about animating that you get to a point and you know it. You realize that you're animating this whole thing. The whole thing is a dream. Yeah, it is. It's wild. And yeah, when you have this, tell me. I want to hear your experiences because I want to share them on the podcast. But this whole thing is a dream. And that's not a metaphor, a cute little thing to say to make you feel better. But you are that infinite being. If you could let go of the religion, the religion of manifesting, if you could trust yourself, just try this. And I've done this before. On one of my last podcasts, I dared people, challenged them to stop listening to Feeling Twisty, stop listening to just shut off every manifesting teacher, even Neville Goddard, for a week, just a week, and trust yourself. And then I said, I want to hear your stories because I want to share them. You won't believe how many people. You want to know how many people responded? Guess. I'm going to see. Give me some numbers. How many people responded with their stories? Come on now. Let me see them. 0. Right. Redneck Buddha got it. Nobody told me. Nobody did it. Nobody, because I said, let me know the good, the bad, and the ugly with this experience. That's right, Sharmila. Nobody could do it. But I encourage everybody to do it. It doesn't have to be painful like I put myself through, but that's on me because I was holding on to the dogma of Neville and the dogma of manifesting coaches. Like, I got to be like this. I got to sound like this. I got to talk like this. And I had to be genuine. I had to be me. And me, look, this is me. The Even the way I did the podcast. I mean, that was me, but not really me. Uh, so from now on, it's just going to be me. And I cuss a little more. I cuss a lot. I don't even realize it. My brother, well, I'll recommend a movie to him, and he'll ask me, "Okay, was there a lot of foul language in it?" I'm like, Ronnie, I have no idea. I don't pay attention to that. He does. Anyway, I'm just going to be me. When I do a podcast, just know that it's just me, and I'm sharing my experiences. And I may quote Neville or another something or other, or the Bible, but no more. If I promise you that it'll always be something I've experienced coming from that. So when I tell you, I mean it, that I'm serious, and I know it's possible. I'm not- Pan interior is a helpful term. Goes with of Alan Watts. I don't know those. Oh, thank you, Sharmila. Oh, thank you. Well, I want to be more me, and I think it's just that uh, I think we all do that, right? We all want to be our own person and really be independent. Have you ever felt like that, where you have these desires and you're like, well, this is what I should be wanting, right? I should want a family, or I should want a career. I had to just let go of all of that. Well, no, what do I want? What do I really, really want? Yeah. And it goes against everything, growing up. It's not about what I want. I need to serve others. I need to do this for others. Don't be prideful. Don't think of yourself. But all we have is self. And it doesn't take, oh, sessions or getting, you got to let go of worrying about, did I do it right? Did I do this technique right? A technique is a technique. It's how you get to the point of accepting that you have it. So I had to strip that down too. I just bare boned everything. Or what's this technique doing? It's getting me to believe that I have what I want. And I can, and then I got tired of doing that. I got tired of saying, I believe, I have faith in the imaginal act. So what does that get me to? A vision board, uh, tapping, all the other techniques, sessions, all of this gets us to the point of accepting it, right? Look, I tortured myself trying to reach that, what Neville calls that spiritual orgasm. He used a lot of metaphor. You gotta stop taking him so seriously. Is that I beat the hell out of myself on some things. Like, oh, I didn't get it. I didn't reach the spiritual orgasm. I'm not gonna get what I want. But I had to go back to basics. I had to go back to that healing. What was that? That was just a conversation. I was tired of it. I was tired of being sick, and I let go of it. And I've tried to tell people, when I started studying Neville, and how'd you do it? And I would say, well, I did imagine the day before. I imagined a little thing, seeing Kim. That wasn't where the power was. The power's in what you decide. And I had decided I'd had enough of it. So I had to start stripping away everything, unlearning, everything I'd learned as something to rely on, a lecture, or let me see what this quote, what does this say? I had to get rid of all of it. And looking back over my life, even before I came across Neville or any type of book on manifesting, what is it? What's the key? Looking back, I'm like, oh, it's me. It's me deciding something. And Guys, the whole thing's connected to you. It's all coming from you. Everything, every story, everything. And I'm not talking about some things, I'm saying everything. Your universe doesn't exist without you being aware of it. Think of that. I think I've mentioned this experience I had where, and I think I mentioned it in the episode with 2020. This is good as the call with 2020 when he made you lead, but better. Oh, were you on there, Redneck Buddha? Were you on that call? Yeah, that goes way back. Uh, I had this experience where I looked down and had an umbilical cord coming out of my navel, and it was attached to this embryo, and there was something stirring inside of it. I could see the blood vessels, and then everywhere I looked, there was another embryo. Everything was an embryo, and it was all connected to me. Everything. I was the one giving life to everything that I was experiencing. So when we react to somebody, we react to a friend or an enemy, react to something at work, you're reacting to yourself. You can't experience anything outside of you. It's all an internal thing, this whole thing. You have a beautiful body right now, but you imagined it. All right, one more story, and I've mentioned this one before. This happened when all this turmoil started within me back at the end of 22, beginning of 23. Uh, it was right after I recorded an episode where so, you know, blah, 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 I remember saying, yes, and I trust imagination implicitly. And that night, uh, I was in this, I'm always in a meadow. Anyway, I was in this beautiful meadow, but also it was a building. Anyway, that's not the point. There was my friend, I knew it was a friend. He said, the director's ready to see you. So I went into this room, and there were all these bodies, side by side statues, lifeless. And there was this statue, standing there lifeless, dark, no life to it. And I wanted this one. And the voice said, okay, show me how you wake up. So I did this whole thing. Oh, like you would expect, And the voice said, no, you can't pretend to wake up. You have to completely forget you're the actor before you can wake up. And that's the night that everything really started just inside of me, just this craving that I had to know. I had to let go of everything, and I didn't want to, because I'd made Neville and manifesting coaches, all these people I followed up here. They're up here. Oh, they know better. They do better with graphics than I do on social, so they must be better. They have better content, so they must know what they're talking about. But look, you don't know what I'm talking about. That I'm telling you the truth. I am, but I'm pixels on a screen for you. Sound waves, vibrations in your ear, and your brain's converting it to a message. I'm not leading your life. You're doing it. And if you're hearing this or seeing this, you imagine me up for you. Mm. Hmm. So all of that, all this, I mimicked other teachers, this is what it looks like to be in the state of your wish fulfilled. And I do things like, like, what is that? What kind of bullshit is that? So all of that was started unraveling after that night when the voice said, you have to completely forget you're the actor. And so I took that, meaning that I had to strip it all away, because it all started being fake. I did this. I did the session. It's going to work. I felt it. I had the spiritual orgasm, or I used the Western gate or the Northern gate or the Southern gate. Look, Neville did all of this. Such beautiful metaphor and imagery that he did, and he was a great speaker. But we take this and we turn it into a religion, and then at least I did, and I would start feeling bad. Like, wait, I didn't. Did I use the Northern gate? Did I use the Western gate? Did I touch it, smell it, hear it, feel it? All these rules I was putting on myself when all you have to do, like in Job, where it says, decide on a thing and it's established for you. I realized that I dreamed it up. I thought I needed a teacher. I needed something, and I came across Neville and Joseph Murphy, and then all these others. And it's just, I'm not beating myself up over that anymore. It's all part of this because it goes back to that uh, fall of 2022. I was washing the dishes and I thought to myself, I just want to know. I want to know and completely trust myself and know that it's coming from me. And it was uncomfortable, but I'm grateful for it. Very refreshing. Thank you. Right. Techniques don't create, David Breslow. You create with what you accept is true. And Vera, 10 out of 10, having myself imagine up your whole podcast. Aw. Yeah, we get this idea that, yeah, I can manifest. This is for you, Ophir. Manifest a cup of coffee. He hates it. He hates that term. But we get this idea that, well, that's easy. Anybody can manifest a cup of coffee. But there's certain things, and we all have our thing, right? We all have the thing that we think is the most difficult to manifest. And even thinking about it right now, your heart might be racing. Like, oh God, yes. I did that. And so we listen to other teachers that talk about vibrations and opening your sacrum or the spots, the chakras. That's beautiful, but it's on this level. It's this. That's not where creation happens. And so we think, okay, well, for money or for health or love, those are big. So I have to be bigger with my technique. I have to feel it more intensely, right? Who's with me? Let me see your hands. Well, it was for me. I'd gotten that in my head. Well, I must not have it because I'm not imagining hard enough. Not imagining hard enough. So I would, money or certain things like, oh, I just know I got to push that scene through. I got to get it in there, get that. So, but that's what it felt like, trying to push it and rush it. And then my heart would start racing. Oh, did I do it? That didn't feel like a spiritual orgasm. That felt more like apoplexy or, aneurysm. Swallowed a big old piece of ice. Getting paid for teaching. This seems to be mine. Oh, there you go. Oh, you can do hands. See, I've been so out of touch with this. I didn't make you do hands on here. But it's just the opposite when it comes to manifesting. We think a bigger desire means bigger feelings, and we have to, walk around. I got to feel it. Let me push that every day, So, and we hear teachers talk about, well, this is what a millionaire would feel like, and this is what they would be doing. A wealthy person would be studying this book right now. They would be reading this book about investments or wealth. No bullshit. That's bullshit. It's you. And we try to make ourselves like, whoa, what does that mean? Neville says, if I'm not in the state of wealth, I'm not going to have it. And then we make this whole big thing thinking we have to become this different person. I think that was me. Well, no, I still feel like me, but so that means I'm not wealthy. I need to feel, what does that feel like? I'm telling you, I made all this crazy shit up over those years after the healing, making it so much more difficult for me. It's me. It's you. What do you want? Decide you have it. Accept that you have it, and let go of the idea that, and it's going to come. You're going to say, "Okay, I got it. I have more than I could possibly spend," or whatever it is you want, and you're like, "This is it. Fucking a, I got it." And then you might immediately start, "Oh, I better do a session." Don't do it. Let it go. That was me. I would like, I got it. And then immediately this heart palpitations and I start sweating like, oh, but I didn't imagine it just right. I didn't exactly spell it out on what I wanted. There's no other person to spell it out to. Your imagination isn't separate from you, it's you. Call it imagination, call it you. A friend of mine, we talk and he's like, I know, I'm God. And I said, stop calling yourself God. Stop it. Because you don't even know what that means. Because we think uh, God is this story, this character in the book, in the Bible. And so we think that we're that, and that's all symbolism. It's all symbolism you put there for you to as a guide, a little like, hey, this is you. And you wrote these stories as a hint to get you back to who you are. You don't have to read the scriptures. So I told him, stop calling yourself God. How many of you have done that? I did. I am. Well, I'm God. So I started asking myself that. Well, what does that mean, Michael Wayne? What does that mean? Like, well, it means I'm God. Like, what? That I'm telling you, I stripped away all of this. And what I found was me. Me. Hmm. I can decide a thing, and it's established for me. And light will shine on my ways. And I don't have to act spiritual. I don't have to stop using foul language. I don't have to stop drinking unless I want to, but I don't want to. We let go of all that, I thought I had to be spiritual. I had to be like, I thought, I thought it had to be that way. You go this way and then you go to this spiritual Zen like life where you just, hello there. Bless you. Yes. Yes, bless you. Yes, bless you. No, what I found, I went through all that and I came back to me. I'm more me than I've ever been. And I don't think I've ever been me. I've all my life, I've tried to be something else because that's what I'm supposed to be, right? For this person, for that person. I've never been more me. And it scared the shit out of me through all of this. Like coming back to me and really being me and what's my desires and really rewriting my whole story and changing it and letting go of the dogma of manifesting and trying to be spiritual. Just be you. Be the you that likes to watch, you might like to watch rom-coms all day and night or murder mysteries or whatever. Be you. Let go of what you think you should be like because you hear somebody else talking about it. And no need to mimic others. I did it. I quoted Neville, heard Neville so much, I started talking like him and using what the hell. And 2020, he loved the guy. He's got followers and on their channels, they talk just like him and use his language. Nothing wrong with that. They'll come to a point where that that scratching in the back of their head, and like, I gotta be me. That's what you're here for, to be you, your personal, unique story that's only yours, not mine, not Neville's, yours. You're here for that experience only. and for the joy of having the experience and waking up. Because this is a dream. You have to completely forget you're the actor before you can wake up. And you don't have to be spiritual to do it. All right. How long have we gone? Over an hour. I thought I'd be doing this like, I thought, all right, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm going to check out. So, y'all want to start doing this like once a week, a live thing? Let me know. Give me your comments. And can you see each other's comments? I don't really pay attention to YouTube lives. Yes for live. Ophir says yes. Can you see each other talking? And can y'all talk to each other? Oh, you can see comments. Okay, cool. All right. Ophir says yes. I'd like to keep Vera. Please. Okay. All right. So let me ask you this. Do you prefer what day of the week? I like Sundays because it's nice and quiet and I can, most, I know not everybody because we're all over the world. Some people it's Monday. So this day right here, is this a good day and time? All right, we'll figure out the time. But you guys, thank you for doing this. Thank you for joining this. You blessed me. And man, what a treat. It feels so good to be back. But it's like I'm back, but I'm different because I'm the meest me I've ever been. And I want to share that with you. Now I need each of you to send me $1,000. I'm kidding. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that at all. I'm not doing coaching. I'm doing this. I'm not doing, you don't need it. It's time to stand on your own imagination, on yourself, and have what you want. You don't need to be paying people. Great if you do, but you don't have to do it. Trust yourself. Decide what you want right now, tonight. Make it big. Don't be like, oh, I just want to get the bill paid tomorrow. Just give me enough for the car note. Screw that. Pay the car off and buy another one. Pay the mortgage off. It's all yours. Every bit of it's yours. You get that, right? It's all yours. Everything that could possibly happen, that has happened, that will happen, every potential story is already happening in you, in the Father. That's a metaphor for that creative power. That's you. It's all happening right now. So what do you want? Yeah, the big ones. Take it. Have it now. And don't worry about a technique. It's you. Make a freaking decision. All right. I want the $1,000, Redneck Buddha says. All right, guys. I love you. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.